Hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And welcome back to the studio. And quickly, in case you want to join the police, ball, red, potato, slowly, chimpanzee. Okay now, which one is the adjective? Write it down on a piece of paper. We want to test your writing too and send it to us. Okay, enough of that. We spent enough time learning about Bobby Dazzler and the grammar problems of the police yesterday, didn't we? Yes. Okay, so let's finish what I was talking about before I got stuck in a rut concerning Bobby. So, do you all remember the idea of to struggle? Do you all remember what the rugby player did when the other players tackled him? When the other players tried to stop him and take the ball away from him? Yes, that's right. He resisted and struggled. And yes, we can see from the ed ending that the verb to resist and the verb to struggle are regular. Well done for noticing. He fought back. He tried to fight against them. Okay, so we know that the idea of resist, the idea of struggle, the physical idea. Think about József Attila. Yes, one of the many famous Hungarian poets. Now, in Attila's sister's autobiography, she wrote about a man who wanted to go out with and possibly marry their mother. Now, when this man came round to the family flat, what was his name again? Grun, I think. Anyway, Jolan relates the story about one time when this man came to their flat. This man put Attila on his knee. He sat Attila on his lap. All right, but Attila didn't want to sit on this man's knee. Attila didn't want to sit on this man's lap. So, what did he do? What did this young boy do? Yes, that's right. The man was holding Attila, and Attila was struggling. He was struggling to get free, to escape from this man's hold on him. So again, as we can see, a lot of the time when we use the verb to struggle, we are thinking of a physical idea. Okay, so we know that it can be a physical verb, a physical idea, but do you all remember what I was telling you about learning German when I was younger? Yes, as I said, at my school, there were only two possibilities for language learning, French and German. And we all started learning French when we started secondary school at the age of almost 11. All right, so as I told you, if someone was good enough at French, then after 3 years, I think, but I might be wrong, it was a long time ago, it might have been 2 years. Anyway, that's not important. The thing is that if you were good enough at French, then the teachers told you to try German. Okay, now I was good enough at French, so my teachers put me in one of the classes to learn German. And the first year was fine. We learned German, we learned fantastically important and useful sentences like my favorite, Lumpi ist mein Hund. Great, a dog called Lumpy. All right, so as I said, the first year went well. We all passed the end of year exam and I got 89 or 90%. A fantastic result. Okay, but then the storm clouds started to gather. In our second year of German, our teacher, Frau Royston, tried to introduce us to German grammar. Oh dear. That didn't work. For us, children who didn't understand English grammar, German grammar was like trying to learn Chinese, underwater, backwards, in the dark, with one hand tied behind our backs. And this is where we see the mental idea of struggle coming forward. We started to struggle, not physically, but mentally. We were trying to learn German grammar, but we were completely confused by the der, die, das, die, der, die, den, die, dim, sun, pop, sun, fun, or whatever it was. Try to imagine a war between us and German grammar. That's what it was, and German grammar was winning. We were fighting and fighting, trying to understand the grammar, but we weren't doing very well. We were struggling. Imagine if you throw someone who can't swim very far into a fast-flowing river and tell them to swim to the other bank, the other side. What will happen? Yes, they'll struggle. They might make it to the other bank, but they won't do it easily. Okay, so that's the physical idea again, but let's finish on a mental example. Imagine that you work really, really hard and the teachers in your school put you into the best class. Great! But now, imagine that when you get to this new class, you look around to see who else is in the class and see, oh my God! You're in a class with Einstein, Copernicus, Sergio D'Albert, Teller Edde, Sir Isaac Newton and Neumann Janos. Okay, so I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but if you stay in this class, you're going to struggle to keep up. Yes, you might be able to follow the classes, but it's not going to be easy. You're going to struggle, unless you're a genius. In that case, you'll fit in perfectly and probably feel right at home. All right, so we finished our brief run-through of the present continuous, so that means it must be time for us to have a look at the past. Yes, people, it's time for us to head back in time. Well, sort of. It's time to look at the past simple. All right, so this isn't going to be hard, is it? No. We've seen the past simple before, so all we need now is a brief reminder of a couple of things to make sure that we're all on the ball, like this bloke here. Okay, so let's get started. We all know our onions about the past simple, but we still need to blow the cobwebs away and dust our knowledge from time to time, and that time is now. Okay, first things first. The easy stuff. The verb to be in the past simple tense is really simple. In the present simple, the verb to be has got three, count them, three forms. Am, are, and is. We know this. We know that if we're making a sentence when the subject is the first person singular, then we need am. If the subject is the second person singular, then we need are. If the subject is the third person singular, then we need is. And just like the second person singular, if we're making a sentence with any of the plural forms, we, you, or they, then we also need are. All right, so that's the present simple. What about the past simple? Well, as I'm sure you all remember, the past simple form of the verb to be is even easier than the present simple form. In the past simple, the verb to be has only got two forms, was and were. We use was for the first person singular and the third person singular, for I, he, she, and it. And we use were for all the other subject forms, the second person singular and all the plural forms. You, we, you, and they. Simple. No? Yes, it is. Good. Righty-dokie. So that's the form of the verb to be in the past simple. What about the meaning of this tense? When do we use the past simple? Well, that's simple too, isn't it? We use the past simple tense to talk about something which happened at a certain definite time in the past. Okay, so if we're talking about something which happened in the past, something which started and then finished in the past, then we use the past simple. Last year I was 47. In 1978 we moved to Scotland. Elvis died in... when was it? 1977, wasn't it? I forget, at the age of 6 or 7, I wasn't paying too much attention to the world of music. Anyway, that's not important. What we're concentrating on here is the fact that all of these things happened at a definite time in the past. And so, when we talk about them, we use the past simple. But we know that we don't only use the past simple with things that happened a long time ago. If I want to describe something from 2 minutes ago, I can use the past simple. A couple of minutes ago, I asked you a question. I woke up at 6:30 this morning. I watched TV last night. I drank a cup of coffee at home this morning. All of those sentences were in the past simple. So if it happened in the past, even if it was only a couple of seconds ago, it's still a situation where we use the past simple. It happened. It's finished. It's in the past. It's the past simple. Okay, so we know the form for the verb to be, and we know that it's very simple. There are only two forms to worry about, was and were. So let's think about making some past simple sentences with the verb to be. Okay, positive. What are we going to do? Yes, that's right. Start with the subject, follow with the correctly conjugated form of the verb. I was, you were. He was, she was, it was. We were, you were, they were. Easy, no? Yes. Okay, so have a go at completing these sentences. It shouldn't be difficult. He to be late this morning. I to be at work on Thursday. She to be at home. The weather to be terrible last week. To be your holiday nice. Where to be your sister last night. Okay, simple pimple, no? Well, perhaps I did put a couple of harder ones in there at the end just to test you, but I don't think that they're that hard, are they? Well, let's see, shall we? Okay, the first one, simple. He, the third person singular. So, we use which form? That's right, was, he was. So, what's the whole sentence? Yes, he was late this morning. Done. Next, subject, first person singular. Okay, what form? Was. Good. I was at work on Thursday. Simple. Next, subject, third person singular. What form? Was. Good. She was at home. Done. Next, subject, the weather. Okay. And which subject is the weather? Yes, that's right. It's it. It's the third person singular. So, what form? Was. Good. The weather was terrible last week. Done. Next. Aha. This one's different, isn't it? Yes, what's that lurking at the end of the sentence? Yes, it's a question mark, isn't it? And what does that tell us? Yes, Einstein, that tells us that this is a question. Good. But what do we know about questions in English? What changes when we ask questions in English? What do we do to a positive statement to turn it into a question? Well, we all remember that positive statements follow the pattern of subject, then verb. But questions change the pattern. Questions start with a verb, and then we get the subject. Okay? So, in question 5, which part is the subject? Yes, that's right. In that sentence, the subject is your holiday. Good. And what subject form is that? Yes, good. It's the third person singular. Okay. And what does that mean? Well, that means we need was, not were. Fine. So, think about that sentence. If we wanted to create a positive sentence, then what would it look like? Yes, we'd start with the subject, your holiday, and then follow with the correctly conjugated form of the verb to be in the past simple, was. After that, we'd finish the sentence with the rest of the sentence, which in this case is just the adjective nice. So that would give us the positive sentence. Your holiday was nice. Okay, well, turn that into a question. And we'll check how you got on tomorrow. Yes, people, it's true. Our time has run out. Our 15 minutes is up and we have to leave you. So it's time for us to part. But don't worry. We'll be back on your screens almost before you notice. That's right, in 2 shakes of a dead lamb's tail. We'll be back with me talking to you about the past simple and checking that you all managed to turn that positive sentence into a question. And don't forget, you all know what day tomorrow is, don't you? Yes, it's not Tuesday, people. It's definitely not Tuesday. All right, I'm off home for a coffee. After that, I might sit down and turn on my JVC DVD player and watch a film with that international star, Michael J. Fox. I'm not sure. Anyway, whatever I do or whatever you do, remember to have fun. And if you've got some spare time, check out the website. www.mediaclick.hu. I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye!